This is a new Michal Shapiro Nigan I learned this week. So deep and so beautiful. Hebrew and English. Listen to this Nigan. No, I found it years ago.
I was getting excited. He's doing
Shamayim va'odet Ezri me'im Hashem Oiseh Shamayim va'odet Ay da di da 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 di da do Ay da di da 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 ay da 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 ay da di da 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 di da da ay da di da 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 ah da di da ah da di da ah da di da 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 di da 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 ah da 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 ah da di da I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, creator of heaven and earth. My help comes from the Lord, creator of heaven and earth. Da 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 la la da 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 la la. Ay da la 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 da da la di da 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 ay da 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 ay da da la la da 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 ah da 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 ah da 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 ah da di da ay da 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 ah da 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 ah da 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 ah da 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 ya da 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 ay da 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 ay esoy na yele hodi meleyayin yavo bo yezlim esoy na yele hodi Yavo Yezri Ezri Me'im Hashem Avavo Yisrael Shamayim va'odet Ezri Me'im Hashem Avavo Yisrael Shamayim va'odet ay da 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 ah da 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 ah da 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 ay da 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 ay da 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 ah da 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 ah da 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 ay la la da 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 ay 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 ba 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 ya ba 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 ay la 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 la. Oy esoy nay elehodim yayin yavo yezli esoy nay elehodim yayin yavo yezli. It's a beautiful Nigan, no? This is a Nigan. This is the one that wrote the mountains will crumble. The same one, Michal Shapir. He wrote also what we sing on Erev Shabbos. Yediv nefesh, and also bum 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 bim bum bum bim bum bum bum. Anyway, so yeah, so when you hear a Nigan like that, you gotta. Truth is, I found one more Nigan. I learned this Rav Shlomo Nigan, like when I was like 16, 17. I heard it one time. I was singing it nonstop. And then I was listening to a shir he gave in Shabbos Vayigash 1979. And he starts writing this Nigan in the middle of the shir. I'll send it out to the Chevra afterwards if you want. It's such a give out thing. Yam da da dum da da dee dum da da yam da da dum da da dee dum da da yam da da dum da 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 ay da 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 yam da da dum da da dee dum da yam da da dum da 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 ay oh ay stronger, Chavra. Am baladam baladam am baladam baladam am baladam baladam ay ram baladam 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 ay example, like one Nigan he sang one time when he composed it in Weiter. It's Meshuggah. I don't have the page for the month of Tavis. I'm sure there's cover that sponsors a Mechila, but for now I want us to daven and learn strong for the Refuah Shlema of Tam, Ariel Ben Dorit, yes, and also for the Refuah Shlema of our dear friend Dr. Peter Washavsky, who's also in the hospital, Reb Chaim Shlema Ben Kila, I think, or Kala, I remember the exact naming. So for Peter and for Tom, it should be a big Refuah Shlema. And like Tom wrote me right before he went inside for this operation, he's like, we'll be back picking next week. That's what he said, picking meaning picking the guitar. So it should be that
He should be back here, sitting over here, doing his thing so beautifully. Really soon. Okay, Chavre, let's open up. Let's learn strong. If you have the these are pages for whoever needs. You could, Baruch, can you kill the burner? If you could open up, please, on page. What's the first page on that? Samach Bet, right? Samach Bet. Okay. We're continuing now. This is a very important piece. No, thank you. We're continuing this important piece on how Yiddishkeit could be given over. Mamish could be given over at the Shabbos table. Your whole Yiddishkeit you want to give over to your family, to your children, to yourself, could literally be given over at the Shabbos table. We began a few weeks ago discussing this sugya, and now we're going to continue it with some amazing short nuggets, some short stories that are absolutely mesmerizingly beautiful. So you see where it says Zehirim l'shamra avu suvanim? Go down to the left column on the bottom, Hamaskil. Hamaskil ba'esahi, a person that uses his cup at a moment where he realizes that all the gates are open at the Shabbos table to not just enjoy a seuda, but to mamish give over Yiddishkeit to your children. Yarviach rabos b'chinuch habayim v'tzetzayim b'shas kosher zo. He will be marviach. He'll gain so much in this amazing moment. V'chov kadoshu al rashi hamishpachas lenal es shulchan haShabbos b'shuva uvenachas, which is one of the hardest things in the world. That there's a chov, there's an obligation, that dafka at that time, there should be a word that escorts your vibe, the soundtrack of the Shabbos table. And what's that? Nachas. Tell me something, Chavre, with children. Is that a word that you feel is the soundtrack of your Shabbos table? Yeah. Nachas?
Sometimes a kid hears a word with a lot of words.
Right. Rav Judah Mashal once told me, he said, he would learn these Torahs and then he'd realize, this is like not what happens at the Shabbos table. So you have to redefine what nachas means. Like, I don't know, find the gematria for tohu, shaveh nachas. I don't know, whatever it is, but it's true. It's like one of the last things that a person actually feels. He gets the sense at the Shabbos table. Is that, we're finally sitting, and everyone's there, and Shalom Aleichem begins, and you have all these Torahs you can't wait to say, till you get to Kiddush, seems like 49, the dargos of, who knows, sometimes it's like this, and you think to yourself, oh my God, is it just my Shabbos table that's like this, that's just like completely meshuggah? But, he says, there's some pointers here, how to get to this, and it has nothing to do with your children. It has to do with the balabas, with the person sitting with the parents. Now look at footnote Ayin Daled. This is great. Ha'olam mesapim b'derech halatza is a joking way. Shepam hilchu avu bno berchova shel ir. Father and son were walking down the street. V'hine roe echad me'ovre orech she'anagos haben inena keshura ve'av bo'er go'er bo b'kol gadol. Yaakov tiraga. So you could see from far, a person looked and said, like, wow, this kid is mamish acting out in a bad way. And the father keeps on screaming, Yaakov, chill out. No, this is not America 2024. But what he means is that he actually saw that this, that he actually see that this is a girl. It's not a boy. The Gavra Pliaso, so he's wondering, Madua Korela Av B'Shem Yaakov. Why is he calling his daughter Yaakov? Nana Av Vehishiv B'Chochma Lo Shma Yaakov Ela Shmi Yaakov. My name, her name is not Yaakov. My name is Yaakov. V'Garasi Haisal Atzmi. My screaming out was at me. Ki kshe'argia et atzmi, when I chill myself out, ve'eshlot be'atzmi lechoncha mitoch yishuv hadas, mibli lisparetz, and I gain my composure to educate her from a place of yishuv hadas, without freaking out, because al isnagus she'ena ka'ogen, yiyu dvarai nishmaim, then my words will be heard, v'tekabel musar avia. Deep, deep stuff. Very, very intense, and very hard to implement b'shas ma'isa. Much easier said than done. You could even remember this story tonight, and it may have no effect on you. Like none at all. Starts screaming, Shlomo, Shlomo. It could be it'll do nothing. It could be, but let's pray that there's a chip somewhere inside of us that b'shas mamish at a certain moment we remember this, and the moment we're about to say to our kids whatever, you say to yourself, Shlomo, Shlomo, or Zev, Zev, Aaron, Aaron, whatever it is.
It's the deepest things. I don't remember anyone's name anyway. I call my kids like, Alicia, Ari, and I forget people's names all the time. So maybe this is really what it's saying. Yelling out people's names.
Wow.
You should be yelling at your own name.
Right. What's your name?
I don't know, yell my own name.
David Crosby had an album like that. If I could only remember my name. That was for other reasons that he couldn't forget. He couldn't remember. Yeah, Ellie.
I mentioned it once before. I'll say it again because it worked for me.
Yeah.
It was one Shabbos, many years ago. The kids were young, and it was hysteria at the table.
We have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about, but
But what I did was, and I don't know why, the thought came to me: what if none of this was here? What if none of this was here? And
what if none of this was here?
What if none of this was here? And it suddenly, it shook me. And then I felt a tremendous simcha with all the screaming that came music. It was just a crazy thing. It lasted about 2 minutes. But in that moment, it changed my entire way of looking at things, and I started to do that consciously afterwards. It made a huge difference.
I got a taste of that one time in my life when we only had Tiferet and she was only a few months old, and we had to go do a Shabbaton in a place called Kiryat Ata. You know where that is? Like close to Haifa. It was a random gig, Shabbos. We went out. I can't believe we do this, to be in a schlepper to some stranger's house with a baby, because they're paying like 1,200 shekels. So you got to run to Kiryat Ata to do a whole Shabbaton, So or whatever it was. And after the davening, there was a little kiddush in shul, and I think I told this to you ever once. And there was this guy. I'll never forget what he looked like ever. There was a person there and his wife that were like taking their time, slowly putting away kiddush, all the kiddush things. And I ate by them or they were eating with us. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm like, they're doing this so slowly, and it's getting later and later. And I asked the person I was staying by, what's going on? Like what? They said, they were never able to have children, and for them, the worst part of the week is going home after shul. And then, I have not forgotten, that was about 15 years ago, I have not forgotten that moment. It really it does shock, and again, it does shock you for about 2.5 minutes, but even that is so that's why Rav Biderman is saying to us, Chevron, when you hear the words, the Zman of the Shabbos table is the moment of giving over Yiddishkeit to your children, you're thinking, I have to have the best Torahs, they have to be hearing this and the story. There has to be in the arsenal, but giving over real Yiddishkeit to them is about how much you are calm and in that zone of these are the gifts Hashem gave me. The neighbors are not what do they call the Van Dyke, right? Like sometimes you'll hear a Nigan coming from another house and the Shabbos like, if only I could be like them. You have any idea what's going on a second before, or how many kids are actually screaming in their room on the second floor? You can't hear them. What do we know? What do we know? You know what I'm talking about, Avichai? No. Nah, you're sitting next to me and you're the youngest, and of course you're going to get it, okay? Mitoch hitro, go back on top, after Ayin Daled. Mitoch hitromemut haruach ba'amiras divrei Torah b'shiros u'b'tishbachos. This all, the Torahs and the Nigunim have got to be, it has to come from a place of chill. Abba's talking now! Reb Nachman says that, that doesn't work. I want you to tell me right now what you learned in shul, in school, Parsha Shavua. Okay, Abba. That's not the game. And if there's meals, and this is a little bit out there, take it for what it's worth. If there's meals that you can't get any word of Torah in there, not one nigun, but there's nachas and there's yishuv adas, you're the king of the world. You're sitting at a Shulchan Melachim. You are. You are. The Baba Rebbe didn't have to worry about these things because the tish did not look like our tables. Little kids weren't there. Gaboim, Shamashim were there. That's not our Zach. Our Zach is the way it looks like right now. And maybe you won everything just by making sure that no one felt judged and no one got angry. Yeah, Ellie.
I just want to add one more slab of challenge. I've gone through this year or more. It's also the time where everyone gets to vent out their trauma from this war, especially my oldest son. That's when he opens up. Finally, he's relaxed and he starts telling stories. So it's amazing, but it's also traumatic.
Yeah.
The stories.
Yeah.
You know, you want to enjoy shout, you want to sing the Zmir, you want to hear positive, but it's dark. It's pain.
It's real. It's real. Shehalo, top of Samech Gimel. Shehalo, Ikar hashpas hamechanech al hamischanech ve'a'av al tzeitzav hu kasher hem aroim v'smaise avim. So this is, you want to know why it's the moment of chinuch? Your kid's not going to remember the deepest Rebbitzul Vorker Vort you tell him at the Shabbos table. You know what he will remember? How calm you were with him at the Shabbos table. That he will remember. He's not going to remember the Torah as you say, necessarily. But he'll remember the composure that you had at the Shabbos table. And that moment of chinuch, giving over to the child, that'll last forever. That by the kid, that'll last forever. And they're going to start acting like him betoldotav. Samechei kayotzebo. Umimele. Im yenaheg ha'av besudaso kadas karaui v'chanacha. So if a father acts like this at the seuda, like it should be, azai mimenu totzos chaim lashpia yotzi chalatzav es kedushas haShabbos. You know what will happen? There's much more of a higher chance for the Einiklach to be into Shabbos and want Shabbos. And they want the Kedusha of Shabbos, ulehachdira, and to penetrate it, bekirbam, be'enay mer be'en dvarim. Ulam im yasok b'divrei havai, but if you're talking nonsense, v'yisocheach behevlei ha'olam hazeh, and you, next page, you speak about the vanity of this world, gam banov yelchu b'ikvosav v'yamshichu es darko chas v'shalom. His children will also walk in their footsteps and continue their ways, God forbid. Al ken yachus ha'av al nishmos yiladav. So he's going a certain mahalach. We're taking it a little bit to another place. But he's just speaking about basically the famous, like, don't go through 90s sitcoms at the Shabbos table. And, you know, all those things. And that's what he's saying. Like, if that's what Shabbos memories are, then the kid will say, okay, then that's what my Shabbos table will look like too. Al ken yachus ha'av al nishmas yiladav. Have compassion on your children's souls. V'yiromim eseudasav, and lift it up bizmiros v'nigune kodesh mitoch islavus u'beirus halev be'eish kodesh. Get to the place of holy fire at the table. Now, that I just want to say, that is the goal, the eventual goal. On the way to getting to Eish Kodesh, there's got to be Menuchas HaNefesh and Yeshiva Das. And that's why I want to say it over here. On the way to reaching the Eish Kodesh, not the PSS, I'm talking about the Indian of Eish Kodesh, on the way of reaching holy fire, fire at the table, fire, dancing and singing, and the stories, and it's all stimming and harmony. On the way, there has to be this tachana that's called, it's all good. Even when it's not.
We can't be litvish about singing Smiris.
Bidiyuk. No, that's exactly. No. Kol mekadesh shiv.
Everyone sing with me.
Nah.
Or the classic dava. That will come yet Zahor. Like
Big time. And it does. It seeps in. I've seen this many times. I've
noticed even that for me, like if I'm trying to sing a Kol Makadish, nobody will sing. They're all talking. And like after like a year, all of a sudden people, my kids know it. They pick up on it.
They pick up. Yeah.
Think they're not listening.
It's true. I've noticed with my children.
Oh, but then people
certain
know it.
Zmiras that like the words get a little bit
think
complicated, and I see them sometimes moving their
You
mouths
think
to
they're
the.
not into it.
They do, but
still doing
it'll only happen when you do your thing without the Inyan of
I agree. Not easy.
Yeah.
That we all
Yeah.
I learned these classes, let it go.
Yeah.
Me, my dad, I'm pulled by the ear, fast. I wouldn't be able to stay on the couch. No problem, I do, no problem. But she came back from Midrashah, and they sing over and over again, Koch self, and that's the song they know, and they sing all of a sudden, in the last 3 Shabbos that she's been home, she's come to the table. And I said, look, if she wants to sing the song, and I don't know it because it always gets messed up, I need a leader, and she knows it. And I told her it's
Wow.
the greatest.
Wow.
That she, I'm sitting at the table now and leading the Zemer.
Amazing.
Something beyond.
Amazing. Amazing.
Really a real.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
But you said about David Aaron that the kiruv he did only worked when he stopped doing kiruv.
Right, and he just chose to start sharing, I think. That was the word. I think that's the word he said, right? Yeah. And he just said, I'm just going to share. It has to be a shtick like that, the Shabbos. Now,
What's the age?
this doesn't mean, we'll get to it for a second, this doesn't mean that your kid shows up with the iPhone to the Shabbos. It's all, listen, it's all good. It's benachas, bishavadas. Huh? Let's watch. No. Meaning, yesh gvul to this also, but even that has to be done with yeshavadas and menachah v'chuli, Ari, what age?
It's kind of abundant, what age is there little kids running around, but what age does it start, your daughter's older and now she's what age does
It's always sleeping, yeah.
what age is it like?
You mean what age do you start to?
When age do you start to be more?
Come for Kiddush.
I don't know.
I don't think there's. Yeah, I don't think that there's. It's different. I've seen it work differently in different families. We could go the whole yeshivish route that says, Gil Chinuch starts from 6. 6. Zel. No more. You don't wear this anymore when you're 6. 6. It was like there's some chevra that have to hear that at 25. I don't know. It's. Now look at the foot. There's another footnote I wanted us to see. Turn back a page, Samech Hey. This is great. You want your kid to be real when they grow up. The last thing the kid will pick up on realness is if what we do. It's called echad b'peh ve'echad b'lev, which means you talk the talk, but you mamish don't walk the walk. And when your kids catch you on those things, there's nothing. That's the most horrible feeling in the world.
It cancels out everything.
Huh?
It cancels out.
If you're giving schmoozes to your teenagers about how horrible it is to vape, and then they find a vapor in the car, you're toast. That's an easy example of today. Meaning it's the end. But if also talking during that, you talk to your kid, you come to shul, you have to act like a mensch. Then they show up unexpectedly a little bit earlier than you thought it was, so you're trying to get all your schmoozing before the kid comes in, right? They show up 5 minutes earlier, they see you sitting in the back with, schmoozing with your chevra, and they catch you. It's like, those moments are the worst. So if you're going to go at the Shabbos table and go full on, like chinuch, 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 then they see, lahefech, in your personal life somehow, there's nothing in the child's eye, that's worse, but if they see that you're not echad b'peh ve'echad b'lev, which means it's only echad b'peh ve'b'lev, that what you're saying is actually how you are, they'll have a deeper connection to trust that what you're saying is actually the way that they're living. Again, if this is done b'yishuv adas b'naicha. But he says something cute over here. Ein vav. I shouldn't say that Rav Biderman says something cute. You understand what I'm saying? You'll understand what I'm saying in a second. Sweet. V'lo yitachen שיעשה האב ככל העולה על רוחו, וירצה שבוניו ילכו בדרך הישר. Can't be. A father says, my union is chinuch. Me, I'm a lost cause. But my kids have to mamish make sure that they don't get as messed up as me, or whatever it is. Why? Ki ein lo leben ela ma she'ein avros. All a child has is what his eyes see. Now look what he says here. Koi amar hagon atzadik Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky zatzal, Al elu hadorshim mitzatzeim mailas tovos she'em atzmam lokim behem. Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky Zechatzav Kodesh Livracha would say about those that are demanding big things from their children of things that they themselves are lacking in. Ubefarhesia mezalzelim b'zeh. Pamaya goy ani shekine ba'amisa v'ani ma'yudim birosol ki ha'afa le'aniyusam bechol is metzios bekisam kama prutos. There's a guy that was poor, and a pauper, and he saw that he had a bunch of Yiddish friends that were also poor, but they always managed to have a few rubles in their pockets. He's trying to figure out how did these broke Yidden do this? Ma'asa goy, what did he do? He got friendly with one of these Yidden. He's like, you want to know how we have something in our pocket? Come, we do our kofas in the shtiblach, shachris mincha marev, and that's how we have a little bit of gelt. B'pshitas yad l'nedava, by putting out our hand. And from this, we're living off of this. The guy goes and dresses up like a Yid. He puts his hand out in shul. You know what mitzaltzalim means? Change, because it clings, right? So he's trying to have it still like, yeah, like rings, meaning like some coins in his pocket. באחד הימים שמה שאחד המקפטים קורא בקול רבו ישראל שימונה גר צדק אנכי ממחס פעמים הזיר התירה ואהבת מסגר מצווה רבה לתמוך בי בעין יפה. The guy hears a Yid saying, Chevra, there's 48 different commandments about loving the ger. I'm a ger. You gotta mamish take care of me. Wow. The guy doesn't think twice. Lo chashav hagoy pa'amayim. U'lemachras hayom hechel afu machris ki hu ger tzedek. He's walking around saying, I'm a convert. V'achein, wow, income goes, revenues now. Achnasosav godlu pikama v'chama, it got more and more. V'ayim iket shvoayim yamim, 2 weeks later, v'hine shomeas ploni, here's another one of the kaptzonim, mashtik esakal lifnei ashrei, and I love when they do this, when they come before ashrei. Here we don't have this chaver here so much. You never see it? When they come, they stop davening before, because they know the Seder of Shachar is really that maybe there's room after that Kaddish, you could talk. So before Ashrei, Rabbi Isai, right? Ich bin ein Einikel von der Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh. And the guy gets up and he says, Hu nechet shel or shivas ein Baal Shem Tov. He says, no, not the Ger Tzedek. He hears a guy that says, I'm an Einikel of the Baal Shem Tov. This, v'schus gdola hi litmoch b'nichdei Baal Shem Tov. What a schus it is to support Einikel of the Baal Shem Tov. Hi chlit also anochri. So that guy says, you know what? That also brings in income. He's like, you know what? I'm going to use the Ger card and the Einikel Baal Shem Tov card. And he gets up and he says, Ana achim rachmanim b'nei rachmanim, compassionate brothers. Lav b'chol yama yisroch ish lifnechem schus, because it's not every day you have the schus. Ki anochi ger tzedek nechdo shel Baal Shem Tov. That I'm a convert to the Einikel of the Baal Shem Tov. Ach lemuter l'tzayin, obviously, ki akol ragmu be'esrogeim. They started stoning him with their esrogim that they had. V'uchrach le'imalet al nafsho, and you have to check out of there really fast. So it's a cute story, but what's the it reminds me of whatever. My father used to tell a joke like this at his concerts, but I don't remember it perfectly. I'll try to ask him. He's here for Shabbos. Mikan lamad agon Reb Yaakov Galinsky. Now this is where it's really deep. Ki astira shesoser be'asmo is atzmo. The fact that he was self-contradicted himself, garma lekol hakal litzchok mimeno, that's what caused the crowd to laugh at him, ulesolko mal pneihem, and to just chuck him out. And he says, and this is so deep, he says, kach mamish nires kabbalas marus shalabonim. This is where the bitterness and the resentment of children towards their parents come from. Bir osam es astiros boim misnagim oreim. When you catch your parents on what's called you could call it a stira minei ubeyu, you could call it just a self-contradiction. Those things boil in the children's hearts forever. That's the marus, that's the bitterness. And from that, I think what he's saying over here is that you're going to expect your child to act like you think they should, and you're not holding there? And you're not holding there? Those are the times, like, why is it such an Eis Ratzon? Because what he's really saying over here is, you want to make sure you're mechanech, make sure that you're mechanech yourself, big time. That at the Shabbos table, like, if you're going to mamish unleash on your child, and then your kid has behavioral problems in school during the week and gets a call from the principal's office, and the parents have to come in, and then the parent says to the child, I can't believe you would act like that to another kid. And the kid would look at him, you can't believe that I would act like this? I mean, maybe the kid wouldn't say this, but inside, that's what's going on. Where in the world do you think I learned how to act like this? So if that's true from the negative side, Rav Biderman is saying, Al achas kama v'chama, is that true on the tzad kedusha as well? Turn the page right now to Chachmei Samech Vav, okay? Samech Vav. You want to say something?
Just very quickly, it's going back to the beginning when they just introduced the concept. I just started to imagine. Could you just imagine? And I'm thinking about my Shabbos table. Could you imagine a world where I'm saying, Zev, calm down. It's all good. This is the Ratzon of Hashem, and like the kid sees you doing that, and then instead of them flipping out, saying, "Oh, I learned that from my dad," they're like, before they flip out, they say, "Oh, calm yourself down."
Gan in this world and next world. That's the highest thing in the world.
It's amazing.
Listen, this is wild. Someone once came up to me and said to me, I can't believe it. I was trying to tell my child a deepest Torah I learned from Reb Nachman. So I was saying, Reb Nachman says, and my kid said, F Reb Nachman. And the kid, and the person came to me and said, can you believe that my kid said F Reb Nachman? So I said, actually, yes. And he said, how could you say that to me? I'm like, brother, listen to me. I need to explain to you something. You can learn the deepest Torahs from like we're learning in the Tanya now, mitzad acharayim. Like you could be learning a Torah, and it could be coming to you from like how the Alter Rebbe is saying over here in Prakim Dalet and Hey, that like mamash, your children they're done with receiving acharayim as if you say, I was about to tell them Rabbi Nachman's. They don't want to know Rabbi Nachman's Torah. They want your heart. They have more kavod for Rabbi Nachman than you'll ever have because they want their Abba. Don't get so freaked out your kid said that. I mean, it's not a nice thing exactly. But that's not the Indian. Don't freak out that you have to, because you're saying, I have to schlep them now to Uman to ask Mechila. But what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You understand how, Kilu, like, listen, this guy was not happy with me for a while. Like, he spoke to someone else about me that I said it's not the worst thing in the world. I said to him, in your case, it's not the worst thing in the world that your kid said that to you. In general, we hope our children connect to the tzaddikim and everything, but don't pull this stuff of like, oh my God, can you believe I'm trying to give over Likutei Moharan to my child? They don't want Likutei Moharan. No, they actually do want Likutei Moharan. That's the Indian. They actually really do want Likutei Moharan from their Abba, not from the whipper. The bechina of that. And that's what, and their whole Indian here of Shabbos v'chule is a moment of being able to give over to them all the things you want, but don't stack up your Torahs all week long about what you're going to say at the Shabbos table before you've mamish stacked up the Tahara Salev, the purity of the heart. That knows, wow, it's such a moment of being able to give over deeper than Torahs, which is midos to my children at the Shabbos table. Infinitely deeper. Shas Ratzon. And then, after that, Esh Kodesh, Nigunim, fire. After that. Not the other way around. That other way will block it. And it will cause resentment. I have so many friends, so much, they're already 30s, 40s, some even 50s. They can't get out of the resentment. They'd love to, but just everything reminds them of like, you hear a word, it triggers something of just like seeing their parents, like the guy that's saying he's an anicle of the Baal Shem Tov, he's a Ger Tzedek. Like sing that conjure, they can't stomach it. It's too much for them.
They found in the neuroscience now, when the kid is yelled at, they're completely offline to receive the information anyway.
Bidyuk.
Can't go in.
Bidyuk. Nachon.
Quick story about Aaron.
Yeah.
He was in 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
He got a phone call from school. He got kicked out of class. What happened? The teacher was yelling at the kids that they need to be quiet and listen to him, and listen to the teacher, the Rebbe. And Aaron says to the Rebbe, he goes, by you yelling at us, what type of example are you setting by not respecting us? You want us to respect you.
And then he had to change schools?
Yeah,
Or?
that was one of
Countries. He moved there.
the original callers were like, he's actually 100% right.
I love it.
But it was like the MS. It was just.
Did you actually say that to the principal? No, you.
Oh, we said that to him.
Wow.
Yeah. It was one of many.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why he had to change schools, not because of him, it was because
Because of you. Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the Iker of Shabbos, again, this is like rewiring this, is that when we say it's a moment of being able to give over Yiddishkeit to your children, the Shabbos table is prone for disaster in its teva. You understand? If you especially have a bunch of children. So giving over Yiddishkeit on what level? On the level of Mamash Derech Eretz Kadmon Torah, on the deepest level. But don't stop there, meaning that's the beginning, and then it'll lead you to them remembering even if they don't want to admit, and then it comes out at a certain place. And that's the Iker of Shabbos, that we have to bring it down. So he ends here with the beautiful vort on the Gemara. This is amazing. He doesn't end here, we're just going to end today with this. Chachmei hamusar ha'emisu inyan ze beloshon Gemara. You see where we're on Samach Vav? Chachmei hamusar ha'emisu inyan ze beloshon Gemara. Hacha de'ikar Shabbos hu tani avos v'tani tolodos. Hasam de lav ikar Shabbos hu avos tani tolodos lo tani. So what's this referring to? It's you have to learn the whole sugya inside, but it's comparing certain inyanim of Shabbos that we learn from Masechta Shavuos, and certain inyanim of Shabbos that we learn in Masechta Shabbos. But in the way we learn it in Masechet Shavuot is not the ikar of the sugya. There is not really Shabbos. It happens to be we learn about Shabbos in there as well. But here in Masechta Shabbos, the ikar of what they're trying to learn out is Shabbos. So now let's lane this line again from the Gemara. Hacha, the ikar Shabbosu, here, since in Masechta Shabbos, the ikar of what we're trying to learn out is really about Shabbos. So we speak about Avos, and we speak about Tolados. Av Melacha and Tolada. Hasam, in Masechta Shavuos, the Lav ikar Shabbosu, which means that over there, the ikar of the sugya is not speaking really about Shabbos, it's just Kederech Agav. So Tani Tolados, Avos Tani, we speak about Avos Melacha, Tolados Lo Tani. But we don't speak about Tolados because that's not the sugya there. So look what he says here. Offspring, literally. There's an Av Melacha and there's Toladot, right? Av Melacha, you understand, the 39 Melachas. So look, this is a beautiful what he says here. Sha'osek be'ikar Shabbos, if you're really osek in the ikar of Shabbos, and what Shabbos offers, zoche le'avos ve'tolados. So then you have ki'ilu, you have avot and toladot, and what comes out of it, and the next generation. Shehu atzmo misromem, that you yourself fly, next page, ve'af toldosav ve'yotze chalatzav, and your offspring, your eneklos, yikalet ba'em hatama ruchani ha'arev minoyam Shabbos. They will get it. If Shabbos, if you really misasek in the ikar of Shabbos, then you and your offspring, it'll be absorbed. Something of Shabbos will be absorbed. The spiritual taste of Shabbos will be absorbed. Ulam, mi she'etzlo lav ikar Shabbos, but if by you're not really in the heart of the ikar of Shabbos, she'asuk betofel velo beikar, that you're worrying about, now we sing Kol Mekadesh, and instead of, I'm so happy we're sitting here together, tell me your heart, azai avos tani, well, you're there as a father, tolados lo tani, you're not giving over Yiddishkeit to your children. She'afim hu atzmo yesh bo shayachus lekedushas haShabbos, even if you have shayachus for kedusha of Shabbos, ach omed hu b'sakanas tolados lotani, ki yakshe me'od lechancham karaui. You're going to have a hard time giving over Shabbos to your children, and this reminds me of the deepest Torah of Rav Shlomo on Chava. Rav Shlomo said like this. I have to remember it, I want to remember it as clear as I can. Chava's whole sin was the tree of knowledge, right? The tree of knowledge is the Torah of do this and don't do this. And she fell in that. So he says like this, what's her punishment? He says, Be'etzev te'el banim. So everyone thinks that means that since she did that, her punishment is that childbirth will be painful. But the pnimius of it is like this, Rav Shlomo said, that it'll be painful for you to raise children when you think the whole Torah they need to hear is do this and don't do this. Gewalt, huh? That's the deepest thing in the world. Huh?
I just did a chat last.
What's wrong with no? You see, that's exactly. He said, "Be'etzev te'el dibanim," literally means, like in the literal translation, is that her punishment was childbirth will be painful for you. Rav Shlomo said, "Be'etzev te'el dibanim," that it's going to be very painful for you to be a mother, because the only way that it seems like you know how to communicate with your children is from the tree of knowledge, which means do this and don't do this. It's the deepest Torah in the world, no? So I give us a, we should be connected to Eitz HaChaim this Shabbos, every Shabbos. This is an Eitz HaChaim Torah Rav Biderman is saying to us. And it's very hard. Listen, even though we feel it and we're laughing at those that act like this, we're going to go up to the table tonight, some of us are going to act like that again. Because it's tavua, it's embedded somehow, and we need to uproot it completely. Uprooted completely from our experience of being around the Shabbos table, and with hopes and prayers that the second tachana, the second stage, is that Eish Kodesh and the fire that we really want to give over to our children. Okay, shkoyach everybody, good Shabbos.